Okay, so what do we have here? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ah, what's this? This letter's dated February 13th, 1967. Dear Otto, many thanks for your welcome and most interesting letter and the 2 lovely postcards. I'm sorry, I apologize for the delay, but the writing isn't really easy to read. It actually is written quite nicely, but I'm having trouble with some of the words. I'm now starting another collection of postcards. Well. This is going to be interesting, trying to read this. The writing is, it's quite nice writing, but some of the tails and swooshes and stuff that these people have used, I can't make out. Have as something half of postcards to snaps. So pictures taken and, oh my gosh, this is, pictures. So pictures taken, this is going to be painful. September 1966. Still have 5 negatives to use yet. You know what? What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to look at this letter, try to figure out what it says, and then print it out on my computer, or type it out on my computer and then print it, and then read it from there, because otherwise we're going to be here for the next hour trying to figure out what all these words are. I'm sure I can piece it together once I've taken the time to look at it, but now's not the time to do that. So I will put together something legible that I can read to you later, which will indicate what this letter is about and hopefully who it came from. Well, this letter was really hard to transcribe. It took me 2.5 hours to figure out what, I don't know, I'd say 20% of the words were. The rest of them I made out pretty good, but that other 20%, oh my goodness. So I may have gotten the odd word here and there wrong, but I think for the most part, I have it right. And this is what I came up with. So, written February 13th, 1967. Dear Otto, many thanks for your welcome and most interesting letter and 2 lovely postcards. I'm now starting another collection of postcards. Have an album half of postcards and snaps. So pictures taken since September 1966. Still have 5 negatives to use yet. Those used were of the motel I stayed at, so do not know results yet. First time I have had an unfinished roll in the camera. But conditions are rather rough, and have to give up many things I like to do and have. Glad you like the pictures. I have the one of the creek and forest framed colored photos, enlarged, black and white, and framed over 30 years ago of the Kokanee Lodge, done by J. Allen. Still 100% good. My daughter has them. I love to have pictures. It brings to you most happy memories. Spring is around. I caught a fly yesterday, and I have a very itchy back. Sure signs of spring, but I do not figure the weather to be settled until March is out. Winter best for several years to date, but so foggy and dank. Far worse than dry cold. You need good dry weather for camping. Lots of wet snow fell in the Okanagan country last year, 4 to 6 days at a trip. Hope that you enjoy lots of trips. Me too. Only I need a car to take me. 50 to 150 miles away to the USA Lake. Also here. Too far for me to walk in hot weather or cold. I like Woodbury Creek, further on. That patch of level land, used by the Air Force in First World War called Cedar Creek, a few miles from Woodbury Creek. The former is not seen unless you walk in a little from the highway and down a steep path. Danger sign on left. Road is slipping. You follow a trail and across a log and you see a small waterfall, all in shade except at noon. Very pretty. These are on their way to Caslow. On my trip last summer, we went there, and instead of the 20 minutes climb back up, we saw a road almost hidden by brush. So we turned left, up and around, lost for a while, came out on a road at dusk, looked over an empty house, large one too, and followed road until it hung to the left, down to the lake. So we struck up through grass for an hour and a half and finally landed right where we started near the highway. We had help through the headlights of cars on the highway, over a mile distant. Went as straight and parallel to the poles and telegraph lines. Very lucky. If we had been in bush instead of the open airfield, no telling, but we could have had to camp out. But we would have had to camp out. 9 p.m. when we sighted our car. 20 minutes down to Cedar Creek and about 120 minutes coming back. We went around a small mountain. Good trip. You would like that. In that trip, we also had a walk down Coffee Creek closer to the shore of Kootenay Lake and found cabins and Belfer outfits. I'm not really sure if that says Belfer, but I couldn't really make out what it said. And boats. Road is not passable for cars. Rocks were coming down on both sides of the creek. Had to dodge them. Did not take pictures that day. Too much bush in many places. Also wanted to call at other creeks. Fletcher Creek on the left, going to Cedar Creek. Pretty, very steep, and again the road to the cable towers opposite Ryandell. Steep and a short distance from the towers. Loon Lake, my friend took pictures. Has a $150 camera. Very fine country and lots of fun. No traffic and no fussy females. Powder and paint, etc. Really nice, interesting, and beautiful than the lakes in Washington, USA. Roads to Fletcher Lake and Loon Lake rough and steep and lots of mosquitoes. They are too fond of me. Not many folks go there, and each year the runoff makes them worse. Also a number of trails, holes, and loose rocks, and watch out for rotting corduroy bridges. Would like to spend a day at Fletcher Creek and Loon Lake too. A Jeep will take you up okay, or a good Volkswagen. When walking down these roads, you need a good map and a compass. All the objects and mines around Nelson to skiing and venues, etc. All trails and roads completely covered with forest and trees too. Woodbury Creek sure is a good place all around. Good. That's why I have the good health. Hiking all my life since 8 years old. Not much now, too much illness and operations. Most people say we are nuts. In England, you meet crowds of hikers all over. I did not have maps, but good guidebooks for all of the many countries, small states or provinces, as the many of England would show you many castles like County of Kent, Surrey, Essex, Cornwall, and Devon, etc. Thank you for the extra note. Shall be glad to have the seals and postcards whenever you send them. Must now close. Fingers are getting tired, but it is a real pleasure writing to you as you understand and appreciate all that is good, clear, and true. Others do not understand why, because the stupid... I have to laugh at this. It's funny. I have to read it again because it cracks me up. Others do not understand. Why? Because the fool, stupid creatures do not want to. Bye now to you, my good friend Otto. All the very best to you and good luck and health also. Sincere regards to your dear mother. From your friend and pal, Ralph Tarling. God bless you always. 2 snaps enclosed. That's quite the letter. I'm really curious to know who this Ralph Tarling was. I'm gonna have to add that to my research.